What's up, everyone? Good morning, good morning. Okay, today we're talking about how to use especially customer service as a way to do marketing, especially in today's world in 2020. Customer service has never been as important as it is today, yet I don't feel that most people spend adequate time using social media and digital media as a means to communicate to these specific individuals, frankly, that you really can use social media as customer service. And in this whole process, I'm going to explain how to do it, how you can get started today, and actually how fairly easy it is to get started. So let us open up LinkedIn on this side of the world. Hopefully, everyone's having such a beautiful day. I know this whole quarantine situation is having a lot of people on red alert, but it's okay. We can't control that. What we can't control is how great this morning live is going to be. So, frankly, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all these platforms your customers are on. What is up, Chad? Good morning, man. You are up and you are crushing it this morning. So, like I said, regardless of the platform, your customers are on here, and inevitably you are going to have a negative experience. As much as we want to account for all the great things that we're going to do, eventually, we are going to fumble. Our processes are going to fail. Our systems are not going to be in place for certain things, and we are going to let a customer down. This is super unfortunate, and I hate when it gets to this point, but frankly, it's business, right? It's life. No one's ever perfect. If you said you were going to deliver a product on Wednesday and you ended up doing it, a week from that Wednesday, you messed up. What do you do? Do you just cower in a hole and cry? You can. That is an option, but I don't think that's the most proactive option to do it. And one way to actually do this is you have to understand who is actually complaining, who is having these, hiccups, who's affected by the problems that your business had produced. In a sense, you promised you would deliver X, and eventually it didn't happen, or it was not perfect, or it's not what the customer expected. Whatever that is, whenever you get to that point, you're going to have to figure out how to bounce back. So, like I said, the very first thing you got to do is listen to where are these people that did not have the best experience. What's that service? AngelList or Angie's List is a good one. Yelp is a fantastic one. That's great if you're in a retail space and you might have a little fumble. Maybe your dish wasn't perfect, or maybe they had a negative customer experience. Whatever that is, places like social media, review sites like Yelp or Ask.com, or all these review sites, you can find real people who are suffering from what you have, or suffering from, frankly, what's going on, right? So how should you approach it? So we'll break it down. One is on social media, and one's on digital media. So let's start with digital media with Yelp and those type of review sites. If you have a negative customer experience and they have publicly gave you 1 star, my biggest thing is do not try and get an argument with them. And also, for the first interaction, do not keep it in private, because here's the thing: there are people that are eventually going to go to your review site, right? They are going to go to your page and see, ooh, there's a negative review. I wonder why. Mike, what is up? Good morning. Good morning. Um, Good morning. They're going to go and see that there's a negative review site. The one thing they do not want to see is that that person has never been acknowledged. And even if you acknowledge them in private, if you don't actually publicly do it, it looks like you ignored it, and that you don't really care about your customers. So the one thing I tell businesses to do especially is interact with them online. Ask them what was wrong. How can you fix them? If you're in the services space, can you give $15 off for the next transaction? Whatever that is, try and fix the problem. And at the end, the call to action, say, if what I said, if you have any more questions or anything I can do to make up for that specific error on our side, please message me or email me at, and throw the email in there. This is two things. One, most customers just want to be acknowledged. Most of them just want to be heard, frankly, right? So why hide that? Why distance yourself from that? you are a business. You're frankly in an industry to help someone do something or solve a specific pain point. So address them. They're humans too. They are going to understand, and some people won't. Right? Some people will be like, I had a negative experience. Blah 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 blah. But if the audience sees that you are trying your best to remedy this situation, guys, we've all been there. We're all frankly human, and we've all messed up and had fumbles and whatnot. The best customer service is when you can actually go a step behind. I frankly, this company that printed our mugs, so you can't really see the Boundless thing, but they frankly didn't ship us out the order in time. We were super mad. We hit up their customer service and said, "Hey, listen, like frankly, this is not good," and we got a small discount on our next order, even though we haven't applied the discount. The fact that they acknowledged it again, it wasn't right for them. They should have had the right processes and methods in place, but still, they did something. They talked to us, and they made me less mad. Humans hate to be ignored. So that's my advice on the Yelps of the world, the digital platforms. Acknowledge a person, and then call to action to have a conversation through email or some other platform. Because if they're hostile, you want to report that to the platform, Yelp, for instance, and you want to. Some people are not able to be saved, so you want to acknowledge that, right? The second thing is social media. If you have a product or a service, if you look up the at sign, right? If you look up the at sign, then you can have mentions on your brand. You can have people talking about it. You can look up hashtags. There are software that can do it, but best way is to look up the mentions. Because most likely they're probably tagging you like, oh, XY bakery, my cookies weren't good enough. That again, same tactic as before, is jump in, have a conversation with them publicly, have a call to action privately, so that people who are viewing these conversations see, sorry, the cat was not happy there for a second. If people who are seeing these conversations can see that you acknowledge that there was a mistake, you brought it to their attention, and that you're trying the best you can to remedy the situation. Again, same with the digital world. In social, there's some people you can't see, but the vast majority of people just want to be heard, listened to, and they just want their problems to be fixed. Again, if you can offer seamless product and experience in the future, that is going to make them super, super happy at the very end. So, how does this apply to you? Well, if you're in the services space, if you're in the product space, regardless of the industry that you're in, people are inevitably going to run into these situations that are less than ideal. They're going to talk about it. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier on is, even if they don't, the vast majority of people will never talk about it. And finding those people are frankly very hard. That's why you want to capitalize on the people that do publicly talk about it, because they are a subset of people who actually do speak out and actually do talk about their problems, right? The vast majority, we've probably all bought products where we thought, that was just such a negative experience that I'm never going to buy it again. Did I leave a negative review? No, but frankly, they've lost my business, and they'll never know that they did it, right? They'll be struggling on, why is our LTV, our lifetime value of this customer down, or why is our acquisition cost so high? And they won't ever acknowledge the truth, which is that I never told them why I had a negative service, because why should I go out of my way to do so? And our customers are people we work with, whether you're Stephanie, Anton, you're Mike, you're Chad, whoever you are, Clifford, whoever you are, you've all had those negative experiences that you've just never told the business or institution about that specific problem, and you'll never go back. Frankly, as that. So we want to acknowledge and really prioritize the people who are complaining. So that is really all I have for you today. We can go into specifics a lot more around these specific topics. I'm actually doing a fun thing right now where I will, so I started the new Boundless Media Instagram page again, because there's actually a lot of people complaining on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram about marketing. They have questions, so I'm going to keep putting my content out in different platforms. So I'm throwing up the Boundless Instagram page. If you guys have gotten any value from me, it'd be so fantastic if you can do me two big favors, because I'm trying to reach more people. I'm trying to get the message of, messages like this out to the wider ecosystem to help small businesses, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and just get the community more engaged with how to use social media to run their businesses and not have social media, frankly, destroy their businesses. So, if you guys are on Instagram, there's a link there. I would honestly, it would mean the world for me if you were able just to give that a quick little follow. I will be posting there twice a day, and it'll be kind of more or less the same content that we post here on LinkedIn. It will, though, do a ton for me as I'm trying to build up that page. And yeah, frankly, like that's all I have. If you have any questions about the customer service, if you have your own stories, like I'd love to hear them, because frankly, that's where me as a marketer have the luxury of learning and growing and possibly really helping out these specific businesses. So if there's no questions, we're going to cut it off here. I have a call in a couple of minutes, which should be fantastic. But that is it. And if I'm going to throw in the Boundless LinkedIn page as well. If you haven't followed us there, we're going to start posting a ton more content. I want to be in your feed if you want tips on how to run social medias for your small businesses, generate leads using social and digital media, and frankly, have more conversations with the right people, whether those are prospects, whether you want to speak and get in front of those type of individuals who actually book the speakers. So that's why I just want to leave the world a little bit I found it. And these two new pages should be able to broaden that reach up a little bit. So Instagram, LinkedIn, follow those, mean the world to me. And frankly, if there's any questions or anything ever comes your way where you're like, Nico, I need your help. Guess what, guys? I am one direct message away, and I am more than happy to help you so that you can harness the power of social media. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay corona free, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.